I, much like Faith, am surprised that we don't have a law, but as we've been discussing the ins and outs, the details, it's amazing what kinds of things stop this from becoming such a no-brainer law to pass. I think because we are a very liberal state, we are sensitive to lots of different kinds of people, and that's a good thing. But I think that sometimes stops us from moving forward on these harmful practices. And I think that's what we have to separate out. You can be sensitive to lots of different issues, but still be tough on harmful practices. And I know that in practicing communities, people will say, well, this is not harmful. And people who have been cut will say this is not harmful. But we are talking about children. We are talking about little girls that do not have a say. And you have no idea what's going to happen to them in the future. And that deep-seated trauma that happens to them, there's no way to know if it's going to affect them years down the road. So that getting past that, I think, is going to be really important. And I understand the issue of not wanting to upset certain communities, maybe immigrant communities, but I'm here to tell you and to reiterate that this happens in communities everywhere, and it happens in communities, whether they're immigrant communities or based here. There was a 2017 charge, the first federal charge of FGMC in the country of a US doctor, a US born and trained doctor who cut 2 girls in Detroit, Michigan. And these girls were brought from Minnesota. This doctor was part of my community, and the girls who were cut were part of my community. And there was a lot of discussion about how do we be sensitive so as not to make it an Islamophobic issue. And I understand people are trying to be very sensitive, but you separate out the culture and the practice. And people ask me, why am I still part of my community? Why do I still, claim to be a Dawoodi Bohra? Because I love my community. As I said in my video, I'm very firmly part of my community, but I disagree with this one practice. And that's, as we develop this law and push it through, we really need to make sure that, we're just separating out the practice, not the people and not the whole community.